Hey, good morning, Keto Kids. Welcome back. It's Linda. Top of the morning to you. Got a couple of interesting stories for you today, and I would love to hear your version of these kind of stories as we go on down the road. I want to remind you of our slogan, feed yourself love first. So let's start with a hug. It can't hurt. Let's hug myself. Wrap your arms around you. One shoulder under the armpit, close your eyes, squeeze in, and take a deep breath. I want you to notice two things: how it feels to give it and how it feels to receive it. Are you feeling safer in the giving mode than the receiving? That's a pattern for a lot of us. That's kind of like what we call codependency, the core root of that. And you can do the opposite shoulder. Notice what it's like to be the giver. And let yourself receive from yourself. Take a breath. All day long, you can do this hug. Now, I learned this hug from my girlfriend Ivy, so I call it the Ivy hug. If you want to call it the Ivy hug, go ahead. It's kind of my code name for it. So today's theme on lesson 14 is express yourself. Express yourself. Many of us who have inner child issues grew up in repressive environments. Don't talk, don't trust, don't feel is one of the things they talk about, the characteristics of a lot of us in the ACOA groups, Adult Children of Alcoholics. But any kind of dysfunctional family tends to stifle its members. I want you to see little Linda up there. See how I've got her wrapped in orange and mouth covered, body covered? That poor little thing has been stifled. I can't see it, I can't say it, I can't talk it, I can't feel it. There's a very old movie called Tommy, about the pinball wizard. Came out way long ago, long before most of you were even born. It's got Elton John music. You might want to look it up. It really illustrates in a dynamic way the issues of stuffing your expression. I've got a couple of stories about that. In my childhood, both my parents had a lot of dysfunction, and there was a lot of economic instability. My mom worked for the government in a print shop, and so brought home tons and tons of paper, because any paper that had been misprinted was still paper. And so we had mountains of paper as kids, because we could draw on the back of anything. And actually it was a wonderful thing. So we had endless supplies of paper, a real luxury in my life. Now my cousins, Howard and Steve, their dad, Carl, was an artist. He had trained at UC Berkeley. He had real talent. And he wouldn't buy his kids color books because he didn't want to teach them to work in the lines. And they both became designers. One has helped build dams internationally. And the other has been a building designer and implementer and creator. And did a lot of stuff in Vegas. These are real talented young men. And I do think Carl's idea of no color books was smart, because he taught those kids to work outside the lines, to not be limited. So they had good stuff. In our household, we might have had crayons. Pretty sure we had crayons. But there'd be like one pair of scissors for the whole family, one roll of Scotch tape, a little one, maybe at the holidays for wrapping a few gifts, but mostly we didn't have tape, and glue was non-available. If you wanted to glue something, it had to be flour and water. You put a little flour in a piece of paper, and and on a dish, and you put some water in it, and you glue it around, and it makes this lumpy kind of glue. God help you if you've had to grow up on flour and water paste. But because of that, I have become a tape, glue, and scissors junkie. I probably have 10 pairs of scissors, probably 20 jars of special glue, especially Elmer's glue, rubber cement. Oh, I've got all kinds of glue. And then, oh yeah, glue sticks, everything. My art room is oversupplied because I had that feeling of never enough. What if I get through a period of time when I can't do anything? Can anybody relate to the fear of I can't express myself? What if I don't have the tools? Well, even when I have the tools, many times I've stifled myself, not given myself permission to do anything but. My little child, my little soul says, let me out, let me out, let me out. I can't stand that, little Linda. Let's let you out. Let's unstifle you. Let's get these scissors and very carefully cut off this repressive environment. She does not need this stuff. We want to unbind this child. Free this child. Welcome back, sweetheart. Yay! You get to talk. You get to trust. You get to feel. Yay! You get to talk, trust, and feel. Welcome. You may think I'm overreacting. I'm not. Another reason I overreact is sometimes I think I'm doing it for you. How many times have we watched movies where the actor on the screen does it and we vicariously express it? If I'm a little over the top, it's because I'm feeling your repression and I'm trying to express it on your behalf. Please do your own work. Please let out your own work. Please notice what you need. If you want glue, scissors, and tape, if you can afford a video, a computer, a cell phone to watch this, you can afford video, glue, scissors, and tape, paper, paint supplies. Go for it, okay? Good job, little Linda. You survived that. You survived that. One thing, in our community, there's a place called, I think it's called All Fired Up, where you can go and paint ceramics, and then they put it in the kiln for you. And so this is the one I did. It says, it's safe for me to relax and paint. It's safe for me to relax and paint. Even when I was doing it, I knew that I had challenges about letting all that go. Letting myself just stop and play. And I looked at the back date, January 23rd, 2007. I let 18 years go by and never gone back there. And I loved it. And what does that tell you? I told myself it was safe and relaxed to paint. But truly, I didn't let it be. I wasn't ready to let it be. I want you to notice how hard it is for you to let yourself relax, paint, or express yourself. Don't let my stuck place be yours. Okay? I have another story. This is kind of a different theme altogether, but it did come out into being an expression. So first I'll tell you this story. Years ago, we're talking 35 years ago probably, before I found my adorable husband, Steve, there was this other guy I was kind of hung up on. I'm not going to say kind, I was pretty hung up on. And he moved to a new community out of state from where I lived. And he'd already broken up with me, But I had become obsessed with him. In people who are unhealthy, who are fear-based, who are wounded, can become obsessive, and I was definitely there. It hasn't anything to do with him. It had to do with my wounded soul. Okay, so this is about me. So we moved into this community, and I came and visited him for a weekend. We had a nice time. And I said, I want to move back. I want to be with you. He said, no, I don't want you to. I said, but I really want to. He said, I don't want you to. I didn't take his no for an answer. I decided I would look for a place to rent in his neighborhood. So I found a house that was only about 2 blocks from him, and I had the realtor take me on a tour through it. It was an old Victorian house, beautiful character, affordable, far more affordable than where I'd been living. And I looked out the back window as we went through the house, and I saw a statue of St. Francis out there. And I said, I love St. Francis. That's a sign. I know I should get this house. And the realtor nodded and smiled. Good, she's made a deal. And so I'm ready to sign the paperwork, and we're starting to walk down the front steps, kind of maybe 15 steps in the yard. And she hands me the contract. And I'm getting ready to sign the contract to rent this house. And a bird flies over and poops on it. On the piece of paper. Well, you can't miss that. In my whole life, that's never happened. I said, I don't think I should sign this. And she says, I don't either. And if you know anything about St. Francis, he was a patron saint of birds and animals. They say birds used to just land on him. So I took that as a big sign. Let this one go. I left town, moved on, and not too many years later, found my adorable Steve. The rest is happy history. But I was really ready to make an obsessive choice, like a stalker kind of choice. He said, don't come. And I said, I'm coming. He said, don't come. I said, I'm coming. And finally, I had to have a bird land on it. So in honor of St. Francis, I did get some clay, and I made a St. Francis statue. Now, you're going to think this is not the best statue. It isn't. But it definitely represents where I was at the time. I've got the little birds here. He's got the little bald head, his little lip. This is the only sculpture I've ever made, actually. But the funniest thing I did to it, and you'll really laugh, because I've been to Italy, because I've been to Rome and the Vatican and all those things, and I really love St. Francis. And because I love spaghetti, can you believe I actually drizzled clay all over, wrapping St. Francis in spaghetti? Now, what does that have to do with the inner child and my food addiction? Can you imagine putting spirituality and food and heartbreak, all of it into one story? You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this up. I wonder if you have any stories just as wild. Thank you, St. Francis. You are my guy. Oh, I just kissed him. That's okay. It's not a great work of art, but it's really a great memory. It's a great reminder. Okay, I'm going to wind up here in just a moment. I do want to let you know we are now providing opportunities to be part of our little team. If you'd like to get a refrigerator magnet, this refrigerator contains food, find love elsewhere, with our little logo on it. Just go on eBay. We've got the large size and the small size. Cups to come soon. Thank you so much. Love having you here. Would love to hear in comments or email me at linda@lightworker22. I'm going to leave that out of the way. linda@lightworker22.com. And let me know how you're doing. let me know if you're considering keto or if you've started, what your challenges are, what your needs are, because I am assembling a team of gifted counselors that you're going to be able to access. I'm not going to tell you they're free because they're good, but they're really good. They'll get you and they'll help you. And very, very soon we will have them online for you if you want to start having somebody work with your inner child as you go through this process. Okay, that's it. God bless you. Over and out. Bye for now. Okay.